How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella. Today's shirt is Black Sabbath, the World Tour 1978. Thanks to my lovely wife who picked it up for me while getting her screen for her phone fixed, unfortunately. Sometimes you drop your phone and smash the entire freaking front. So yeah, while she's getting that fixed up, she picked me up a couple of these really nice, inexpensive shirts they had there. I think they were like 2 for 15 bucks. So I got this and a couple of Ozfest shirts and a Poison Crack a Smile shirt. So that was interesting. Thanks again for that. This is going to be part 2 of the awesome, amazingly generous package that Azag sent me. This is going to be the analysis and kind of deeper dive into some of the bands that I wasn't quite sure of that was in that package. So we will call this Analyzing Azag's Package, just because that's funny as fuck. All right, so the first one that I wasn't quite sure about, but I did know a little bit about, was Regurgitated Puss. Now, the thing I found out about Regurgitated Puss was that this is their 2018 EP. Besides this, all they had was a bunch of splits, 4 splits to be exact, with a singer named Elias or Ellis Gallus, interesting and hard to pronounce name, who is in a band called Menstrual Moonshine. So that's interesting. And then after those 4 splits, the cool ass dude from Cav, only known as NR, started vocals with these guys on this EP. The guy from Cav was also in a band called Blistering Defilement that only released 1 EP as well. I want to get my hands on that if I can track it down. But yeah, finding out that NR was in this project for vocals was really cool. Definitely makes me appreciate this project even more, knowing that he's in it. The other thing is that it's classified on Metal Encyclopedia as brutal death metal, but it definitely has slams. It's definitely very porno, gore, grindy sounding as well. But yeah, it's mostly slam death metal with like a little extra stuff sprinkled in there. A lot of breeze, a lot of high-pitched, gurgly, growly stuff. Brutal as fuck. So yeah, really enjoyed this. Definitely check it out if you have not yet. Regurgitated Puss with Cornfields of Incest from 2018. So stoked that my boy NR from Cav is in this. Hell yeah. Go check that shit out. Alright, the other thing that was in the package that I wasn't quite too sure about was Bloodless Child. Once again, I said I thought I've seen them on CDN Records, and I knew they're local. Bloodless Child is a just straight up death metal band with some odd kind of southern thrash metal elements that kind of reminded me of my cousin Brett's old band now, Entry Euphoria. It had a little bit of that flavor in it, and they are actually from London, Ontario, Canada, and they started in 2012. They have 4 demos, 2 EPs besides this, as well as a second album called Futy, F-U-T-Y. I'm not exactly sure what F-U-T-Y stands for, but that came out in 2017. So they've got some other stuff besides this floating out there if you're interested. Really good, just mostly modern slash old school death metal at parts. I don't know who really to compare to, like I said, besides just my cousin's band, Enter Euphoria. Maybe Grave, maybe a little bit of 6 Feet Under. I don't really know too many old school death metal bands that really sound like this, but yeah, worth checking out for sure. This is Bloodless Child with their first album, Dead Awake. I found it really enjoyable. I saw a lot of their live stuff on their channel. I'll be interested in checking this CD out a little bit more when I'm on my travels here and there. So yeah, interesting stuff. Cool band from London, Ontario here in Canada. Next is Haxon. Didn't know much about this band. Once again, this is Loch Ness Rising from 2016, Haxon's debut and only album. The thing about this is it started in 2011 and it's black metal from Ohio, USA. So there you go, like basically local black metal for Azag. And the big kind of point that this has behind it is that the vocalist is Killjoy. He was also vocalist of Wordalac, Viking Crown and Necrophagia, and he sadly passed away in 2018 of like a heart attack or something like that. But yeah, it's unfortunate that we'll not be hearing anything from him anymore. So I'm even more stoked to have his project in my collection, and it'll give me a little bit more reason to hang on to this, because knowing that it's the dude from Viking Crown and Necrophagia is really, really cool. I'll have to check out Wordalak just because it's part of his, you know, lineup of different bands he's been in. But this was actually really good. I enjoyed his vocals on this. Obviously there's some killer guitar work, and the drumming's, you know, probably pretty decent. I didn't really pay attention too much to the drumming for some reason, but the guitaring and the vocals in this was really decent black metal. So yeah, Haxon with the 2016 album Loch Ness Rising, with Killjoy, vocalist of Necrophagia, and Viking Crown on vocals. Next thing that I didn't quite know anything about really was Winter of Apocalypse. Fucking badass name, badass logo, pure fucking satanic black metal. All of that just screams up my alley. So it wasn't too shocking when I listened to this that it was incredible and very enjoyable. This is Solitary Winter Night from 2004. I believe it's their first album. These guys are from Oregon, USA, and they started in 1997. Besides this, they have 2 demos prior and a second album called Winter of the Apocalypse in 2015. Some interesting notes on this is that the drummer Armageddon was also in the bands Lord Gore and Weregoat. So that's neat. So if you're a fan of Lord Gore or Weregoat, the drummer who goes by Armageddon on this is in Winter of Apocalypse. So yeah, that's really neat, and I definitely need to meet some more Weregoat, and I'm going to probably try to track down Winter of the Apocalypse in the future at one point. Yeah, really, really good black metal. Glad to have this. All excellent stuff that he sent me in this package, and I am extraordinarily grateful. Alright, the next thing in this was something that may or may not be your cup of tea, but that is Agatus with the Eternalist. The Eternalist was their third album from 2016. They are a black and traditional heavy metal band from Athens and the UK. They started in 1992, so pretty early black metal stuff, back from almost when it started. And you can sort of hear the influence of the early Norwegian black metal bands in this. You can sort of hear the traditional heavy metal influences of stuff like Judas Priest and other early traditional heavy metal bands. Now, I know Judas Priest is new wave of British heavy metal, but you know what I mean. So anyways, the vocals in this is traditional clean heavy metal vocals, and I think there's the odd black metal vocals in here every now and then. I didn't listen to too much of this. It was enjoyable. It would be good to throw in a mix just to give your ears or your palate a little bit of a cleanse before you get back into the regular straightforward black metal. Besides this though, they have 2 demos and 3 EPs. They also have 2 albums prior to this, one being Dawn of Martyrdom from 1996, and their second album called The Weaving Fates in 2002. So if you enjoy this, they do have other material out there. Don't know if I showed the inside, I'll show it again quickly. But yeah, this was good, very talented stuff. It's once again kind of like a palate cleanser if you've been listening to too much straightforward black metal, or you're a fan of traditional heavy metal or new wave of British heavy metal, and you want to try something a little darker, a little grimy, a little blackened. This would definitely step up your game. So maybe show this to some of your friends that are into just regular heavy metal. If you want to edge them a little bit closer to the dark side, show them Agatus. So that would be one thing I would suggest if you want to do that. So there we go, really good stuff, also enjoyable. And the last thing I have here for the analysis of Azag's package is the split album between Bishop and the Red Baron. And I was sort of close. It wasn't thrash or crossover. This was actually straight up hardcore punk from the mid 2000s. And yeah, so on the Bishop side of things, they're a straight edge hardcore band from Florida that started in 2004 and went to about 2017. They have a album called Suicide Party in 2006. Then they came out with this in 2007. Then they came out with another album called Drugs in 2008. And then finally, their last album was called Everything in Vain, that was released in 2015. Both are really, really good. One has a little bit more of a lower kind of chest beating, tough guy sounding hardcore, and yeah, there's like a normal modern hardcore sound. I can't remember which one was which. It was probably Bishop that had that sound, because the Red Baron was a Christian hardcore, straight edge hardcore band, and they're also from Florida. Also started in 2004, but they split up a little bit earlier, like 8 or 9 years earlier in 2009. And they only came out with one album called My First Love, and then they, I guess, broke up or something. But yeah, so they only had this and the one album in 2009 before they broke up, which is a shame, because they seemed talented. They seemed to be good at making that style of music. I like it. It's your typical tough guy hardcore kind of music. I don't listen to that stuff a lot, but I do enjoy kind of spicing up my punk mix. So this would be good to throw in there amongst my, you know, street punk and oi punk and classic 80s punk and 80s hardcore. So this would be good, just kind of like change of pace for like a couple of songs. I enjoy it. Nothing wrong with this. So yeah, really, really good package overall. I loved everything on this. I didn't bother showing the Bestial Warlust or Cult the Ghouls or Streetborg. You all, hopefully, if you're on this watching this channel, should know about those bands by now. If you haven't checked out Cult the Ghouls, though, please go do it. Very unique, very cool black metal band. So that's it. That's my kind of in-depth analysis of the bands that I wasn't too sure of. Hope you enjoyed part 2. Hope you gave this video a shot after watching the first one. I do have a couple of things coming in the mail probably in a week or so. I'll definitely be doing a video of those. It'll be a mixed bunch of shit. Yeah, there's gonna be a mixed bunch. It's not gonna be like all one genre. It's gonna be punk, thrash, folk thrash, and monster rock, if that'll give you a clue to what's coming. So yeah, expect kind of a mixed bundle coming soon in a week or so. And that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. For Glory, for the Rebel Alliance, Slammerella out. Please go subscribe to Azag's Abyss. Cheers.